are the kinds of misunderstandings that people commonly have today about mortgages?
One of the mortgage myths that I would mention, Joe, is that if you don't have perfect credit, you can't take advantage of the very low rates in the market right now, and that's just simply not true. You can get a 5% 30-year fixed FHA down to a 620 credit score. So that means if you've had some former lates, if you had a bankruptcy 3 years ago, you can still qualify, even you, for a 5% 30-year fixed rate mortgage.
My credit score is better than that.
Yeah, not you, I'm saying.
But you're talking to the person who does have that kind of a credit score.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant.
I'm just
I know.
pulling your leg a little, Dan. And 620, somebody might have been kicked down by previous bad loan, or they might be going through a foreclosure and still be able to come out.
Well, if you're going through a foreclosure, your score would be a lot lower than 620.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd probably be in the 500s somewhere, possibly in 400s. So 620 is actually very decent credit. So sometimes, I guess that's one of the myths that I'm trying to dispel here, is that people occasionally are harder on themselves than they should be, in terms of, which is a good thing, in terms of thinking, well, my score is 630, I have these former blemishes on my credit, now I'm not going to qualify for these low rates that I'm hearing about in the news as a result of that, and that's just not the truth.
Other myths, anything that you frequently see people misunderstanding?
Well, one of the myths, specifically in regard to veterans, is that it's a difficult loan to qualify for, or a slow process. We covered this a little bit before, Joe, but it's something that's worthy of mention here, that if you're a veteran, it's not difficult to qualify for a VA loan. In terms of getting the loan processed, in terms of closing the loan, in terms of taking advantage, it's really not difficult. In the late 90s or early 2000s, President Bush basically enacted what's called an act which created what they call the Certificate of Eligibility online system, automated. And as a result, after that, it made the whole process of veterans taking advantage of the VA loan a lot more streamlined and a lot more simple, because everything was online and automated. You didn't have to go through, the Veterans Affairs, in some other state, for example, to begin the process.
One of the myths that I see, at least from my standpoint, is that some people think that all mortgage brokers are the same, and that's not been my experience. How does somebody find a good mortgage broker?
Well, that's a good question. I would definitely talk to people that you know and trust, and ask them, who have you used in the past? I would also Google mortgage broker or mortgage, and then put the city, and I think a lot of times the top hits that you get in that area can be good. One of the myths related to that is that if you necessarily work with a large company or bank, that you're automatically going to be working with a better mortgage broker. That's not necessarily the case. You want to look at experience. You want to look at the trust level, because there's a lot of trust involved with getting a mortgage. You have to trust the person you're working with. Not all mortgage brokers are created equal in that sense. I hate to say it, and part of it has to do with how much they educate themselves, how much, like I said, continuing education, how involved they are in the industry, and just what types of products and programs their particular company offers. Because many times, or oftentimes, Joe, a particular lender is restricted by maybe 1 to 5 products, for example, at a bank. And so what they're going to do is they're going to try and make everyone who comes in for a new suit fit into a 42 long, when that's not necessarily what they need. So having a broker who's acclimated to the market, who knows what's going on, and who has access to all types of products and isn't limited, is really something that you want to look for in a broker.